Dentley, the tax man. Another edition of my show today. Today I got my good friend James Dentley. Guys and girls watching this, you know, you are a creature. Remember they always say 5 people you'll meet? Well, it's Sir James, Dr. James. The only guy I know has got 6 titles in his name, okay, is one of the cool example is showing up as the biggest key success. It's funny, I showed up to an event in Chicago. It's like a year ago. And after we clicked, it's like having another brother from another mother. Cool guy. Let's bring up to the stage Sir James, Dr. whatever, Dentley. Yay! Hey. And part of JD3 TV, which Taxman Productions, it was a proud was one of the first persons to come in. Okay, Mr. James, how are you today?
I am fantastic, Howard. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, Mr. James, tell the world what you do besides you being awesome and make people feel good.
Wow. You know, it's so interesting, Howard, when you ask that question. But in a nutshell, my role in my life is to help people to tell their story, to identify their gifts, identify the things they really want to create in their life, and show them different ways and how to acquire those things, how to attain those things by becoming those things.
And what made you get into that? I mean, by the way, if you go to J3 TV, if you DM me below, whatever platform you're on, you get a hold of me, I'll give you the link to go see it. He has this amazing documentary. Those might have only been 45 minutes, but if you got to watch this, it's the game changer of anybody. Just a couple of quick questions. What did you decide to get into that little space? I mean, that's a big space, and you hang out with the big boys.
Well, Albert, first of all, man, let me just say that you've been doing some amazing work, and congratulations to you. So I'm really honored to get a chance to speak to the people that you have allowed me to get in front of your community and share with them. And you know what? I've been in business, maybe all of my life. I've always had a great work ethic. At 17 years old, I went out and got a full-time job, 40 hours a week while in high school, working from 6 in the evening and getting home at 3:30 in the morning and getting back to school at 8:30. So I always had that resilience, that work ethic.
Oh, by the way, and I'm sure because you're a brilliant, you're close to Einstein. I'm sure when you were in school, you're valedictorian, 4.05.
Yeah.
You know.
All of that. I have a D average in high school, no college, an honorary doctorate degree. I've been knighted into the Great House of Cappadocia and Constantine the Great St. Helen. And I have usually about 300 awards for business growth and philanthropy, and just doing some great work in helping people to win. And that's really my big desire.
That's right. And the reason why I asked that question, James, is people think, you know, and someday, if you ever heard my story, it's pretty close. I did go to school, by the way, barely got out of high school, barely got out of college. But the point of me asking that James question is, no matter where you're at on the totem pole, if you got the work ethic and the desire correct, you can climb to the top.
Yeah, well, you know, if you've got a work ethic and determination, you can open up some doors. If you're brilliant and you got work ethic, you can open up a lot of doors. But if you're vibrant, the doors open up for you. You know, I wrote books on frequency and energy, and it's really about the energy you put out is usually what you're going to get back if you're consistent with it and feeding your subconscious mind with conscious suggestions of what is it that you really want. I think the biggest challenge is most people have no clarity on what you want. So we just kind of settle into what we have.
Oh, very cool. A couple of quick questions here. Simple. What made you, now, you know, you're part of JD3 TV. You're the founder, CEO, chairman of the board. What made you get into that? That is something I always wanted to ask you.
Yeah. Well, in my life, I always look at what's next. You know, I used to watch basketball and football and watch these people win these championships. And before they got off of the floor or the field, Albert, they always had up 2 fingers. And that meant repeat. They haven't even celebrated the victory, and they're looking forward. So I always look at what's next. How can I help? How can we make a bigger difference? How can we impact lives? And streaming after being a speaker and trainer and a business coach for almost a quarter of a century, streaming was a natural next step for me. Not to mention, I was encouraged by two people who I lost in 2020, who were really, really made a great impact on my life. They believed in me. They wanted me to go bigger, even though I was pretty much financially set and at home and didn't have to do any of that stuff. I wanted to create a venue for the people I had trained as speakers, because in COVID, they had no audiences. There was no place to go. And when I looked at the television networks, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, everyone was streaming. And understanding technology, I knew that that wasn't going to go anywhere. So it was just the perfect time for the type of content that we can deliver that will impact, empower, inspire, and entertain, and provide an opportunity for them, those content creators, to really win. And for the people who cannot get to Netflix, perhaps they get to JD3 TV and we can make a difference in their life.
I always try to explain this, because you see, I'm the biggest, I'm one of your biggest fans and promoters. Why? And it's going to be like two questions. So if you want to answer them together, it's cool.
Sure.
Why should we watch JD3 TV? And then the next question would be, why contribute to JD3 TV? So take it either way, first or second.
Okay. Why watch JD3 TV? Well, first of all, we're not just another network. We're a family. And our slogan is...
Amen, dude. I can agree with that. Always fine. Let me tell you something real quick. Like I said, I interrupt a lot. One of the funnest things you can do is be on the Wednesday call, the contributors call. Let me tell you something. Listen to Brother James and the people he has and the family you created on JD3 TV. You see there, if I'm home, right, James, I am on usually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so now you give us the why again.
Okay. Well, you know what, Albert, honestly, man, because I actually care. I really do. Okay. And I'm not afraid to care. I'm not afraid to dream and to work big and to think big and to just step into that space. I've been doing it all of my life. And, when I look at JD3 TV, a person is not a subscriber. They're a member of this family. So what we're doing now is offering some incredible gifts and prizes, things they can win, opportunities to be showcased on television shows, and even on our new state-of-the-art site that's going to be coming out in the next 45 days, where we've taken another brand. So in a year and 4 months, it's just been an incredible ride. But it's really about getting to know those people who are watching, to give them access. And the reason why is because we all have gifts. And if nobody knows that you're there, then how can you take those gifts and expound on them, make it bigger? How can we drive your brand? Because your success is somebody else's miracle. And for everyone that has a dream out there, somebody loses when you decide not to win. So we're going to show you how to play to win, or we're going to galvanize and join you, or you join us. But let's have a lot of fun together. We'll teach, we'll show, we'll share, we'll mentor, we'll reward, and we'll celebrate together. Now, why be a content creator? Well, for the same reason. So many people have these gifts or these experiences, such as yourself. You're an expert in your field, one of the best who have ever done it. So how do we take that and drive the brand and make it bigger? And it's a process, but to make it bigger, what bigger way to do it than to get involved in streaming? We live in a video age today. And more importantly than that, a person can say, well, there's several streaming networks out there. Yes, they are, but none like this one, because the content creators have the opportunity to own a piece of the network. And they have 5 different ways to bring revenue in, because I understand it's important that they bring fruit in for their time, or it doesn't make a lot of sense. They just kind of burn out. So everyone has an opportunity to really thrive and to do extremely well. But when we make a decision down the road, whether we go public or private offering, that everybody has a piece of it. So something that we can share in, and we can build something together and make history.
In the midst of a global crisis, with billions of businesses shutting down, stands one man who has the skills to save your bills. He's on a mission to let businesses know how they can grow. He'll take on your taxes, increase your cash flow, and coach you to success. Albert Corey is the Tax Man. Contact Albert Taxman Corey for a free consultation today. shutting down stands one man who has the skills to save your bills. He's on a mission to let businesses know how they can grow. He'll take on your taxes, increase your cash flow, and coach you to success. Albert Corey is the Taxman. Contact Albert Taxman Corey for a free consultation today.
Who's your favorite character on JD3 TV?
Albert, you know it's you.
By the way, if it is, how come my name isn't back? How come you don't have one of my logos in your cute background?
In the background? I didn't make these backgrounds. I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
You know, Dr. James, you know that's me, right? You know, I always got to make people laugh.
Look, we're going to do something about that, I promise you.
Okay. What do you like to do when you're not, I know you, by the way, he's got some of the best work ethics. It's like I've been training him, hunting him down like a hunter to get him to do this because he's always on the road and doing something. So when you're not on the road and working like 900 hours a week, what do you like to do? What's your favorite off time?
Well, I love hanging out with my wife. You know, we're best friends. We have an amazing home and resort feeling to our yard. So we enjoy spending time there. We just booked some tickets for a concert. Just did that this morning. Kevin Hart's coming to Chicago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. We love to travel. We've traveled I wouldn't say all over the world, but everywhere from China, Dubai, Thailand, different islands, UK, throughout Europe. And we love to travel, to explore, to grow. We love to read. I read a lot. I teach people from a book every morning for an hour.
Here's a question. I know I'm trying to be. Question is, do you read, or do what I do? Listen, read.
I read, sir.
Okay, I'm a listen reader.
Well, you know what? I do a little bit of both, but I like to read. And that's why I got these new glasses so I can read and understand what I'm reading. Because when I'm reading, I can use my senses. When I'm reading something, I smell, I hear, I'm listening to it. I find I have to go back and then come back and back and come back and back and come back to catch key points. So I do a little bit of both, but for the majority, I love to pick up a book, highlight, and read it.
All right, we're almost to the end here, so it's pretty cool. And then I know I got my last question, which you're the best at. Okay, I want 3 things you can teach me in 45 seconds.
Yeah.
What's the first one?
Okay. The first one is clarity. Let's find clarity on what is it that you really want. What do you want to acquire, have, or be in your life? What gifts do you have? And why do you really want it? When we find clarity and we get a why, the how takes care of itself. That's number 1.
Number 2, you have to have a mentor. Now, you can have a mentor from afar. You can get a mentor through books. You can get a mentor through YouTube, or you can show up to some incredible events. And through those events, that would take you into number 3. But and by the way, when you say that, and like I said in the beginning, showing up is half the battle.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, I showed up. Mm-hmm. Can I add something else to showing up to that real quick? Another tip to showing up, if you meet a mentor or somebody, James, let me tell you my trick and tell me if this didn't work. You go spend $4.50 for an extra large, I don't know what Starbucks calls it, latte or whatever it's called. And you say, hey, what do you like? And that's where you get into their hearts and they'll remember you. Sorry.
Yeah.
True or false?
But that was absolutely. And that was going to be number 3, great value-based relationships.
Okay.
In relationships, I always go into a relationship looking at what I can do, how I can serve, what I can give, not what I can take and what I need. To get a chance to know that person genuinely, because it's not always about the money or what you're looking for. Is that who can you align yourself with, a kindred spirits in your life that can bless your life, and you can bless theirs as well. And it doesn't matter how much money you have, how much money you don't have. None of us reach our full potential alone. So it's all about great value-based relationships.
Remember when we did that? I remember when we met at the Power Team event in Chicago. You were doing your suit, and I got you your Starbucks, and we started laughing and talking. It was fun.
Yeah,
simplest way we met. All right. Actually, I got 2 more questions.
Sure.
One is how do we get a hold of us? And second of all, you're always good. Every time you're on stage, you always end with your little like 3-minute or 4-minute, speech or whatever you want to call it of success. Well, first of all, give us how we can get a hold of you.
You can reach me at info@jd3media.com or jd@jd3media.com, or they can contact you because you seem to know how to get a hold of me.
Oh, for sure, dude. I think like we usually text once, and it's not about business. Laugh or talk at least. Sorry, I got my screen on here.
Yeah.
Once or twice a week, maybe something like that. Now, to end it, before we go, you need to give us some of your wisdom of success, or give me one of your little, how every time I hear you, you always got your little wisdom sentence, poetry. I don't know what you call it, Mr. Sir James, Dr. James, but it's always cool and always inspiring.
Well, I'd say this, Albert. Benjamin E. Mays, Dr. Mays once said, it must be borne in mind that the true tragedy in life does not come from not reaching your goal. The true tragedy in life comes from having no goal to reach for. It's not a calamity not to capture your ideals, but it is a calamity to have no ideals to capture. It's not a disaster not to live your dream, but it is a disaster to have no dream. And it's not a disgrace not to reach the stars, but it is a disgrace to have no stars to reach for. Because when you reach for the stars, even when you fall short, you'll come down with stardust in your hand. So just follow your dreams wherever they may lead, and never, ever get distracted from less worthy deeds. Shelter them, nourish them, help them to grow. You let your heart hold them down deep where dreams go. You follow your dreams, you pursue them with haste. Remember, never forget that your life is too precious and it's too fleeting to waste. So be faithful and be loyal, and all your days through, the dreams that you follow will keep coming true.
By the way, I might have to record this so I can do a short afterwards, because I'm not the best editor, but I want to get that out. Guys, this is Albert Corey. Sharing is caring. This is going to be on a bunch of platforms. Any questions or comments, you could always leave it below. Let's give a round of applause for Dr. Sir James Dentley, CEO, good buddy, mentor the world, and CEO of JD3 TV. Thank you, James. Thank you, everybody. Sharing is caring. Talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.